Smash and grabs are on the rise. Could you be next this holiday season?
These are crimes of opportunity.
Step aside, Santa. The North Pole has a new mailing address in Halifax.
Help lighten things up a little bit for kids, so that's wonderful that she's doing that.
And how one Halifax artist is helping save dogs around the world with her paintbrush.
This is the video signal.
Our top story. Smash and grabs have police and car owners on alert all across Halifax.
Thieves are smashing windows and grabbing what they can. Brad, this was your story.
Yeah, that's right. With the holiday season fast approaching, Halifax Regional Police are warning people to keep their doors locked and their gifts at home.
It was a mess, like glass everywhere inside, glass on the step.
Shards of glass are still on the sidewalk after Brian Donahue woke to find a window had been busted out of his vehicle on Carleton Street. Donahue is just one of the many Halifax car owners who's fallen victim to overnight break-ins.
And then when you go inside, you can see where the window was broken and it's all scratched up on the inside here. And I mean, I wasn't going to replace it, but it's almost a brand new truck, so I felt like maybe I should.
Since the beginning of October, Halifax Regional Police tell the Signal there have been nearly 250 reported cases of theft from a vehicle in the HRM alone. The latest happened Monday morning, where thieves targeted people parked around Lady Hammond and Roby. One resident here on Highland Avenue in Halifax's North End told me he woke to find his vehicle with 2 smashed windows sitting outside of his home. Another neighbor nearby was victim to a similar act where he had his driver's side window smashed out and there were tools taken from his back seat.
What they're really looking for is property that's readily visible, especially anything that looks valuable.
With the holiday season approaching, Halifax Regional Police say vehicle owners need to be aware of the dangers of leaving valuables and Christmas presents in their unattended vehicles. In recent years, Halifax has seen an increase in theft from a vehicle reports between September and December.
These are crimes of opportunity, and if individuals that are looking for those opportunities see vehicles full of presents or gifts, again, if those things are visible, that certainly will make those a better target for individuals that are looking for those opportunities.
While it seems no car is off limits to late-night thieves, police are encouraging locals to report any kind of suspicious activity.
Really the more information we have to go on, the more successful we'll be, and that always comes from partnerships with communities.
But Brian Donahue says he chose to cut his losses. He called the police, but not to file a report.
Honestly, I called because insurance needs the number. Like, you're never going to find the people that do this, right?
Brad Chandler, The Signal, Halifax.
King's is involved in getting books into hospitals.
A pilot project called Books by Heart launched right here at King's. Reporter David Schumann was at the event and joins us now from the library. David, what's this all about?
Well, Brad, the central question researchers are asking is, can books save lives? Dr. Gabrielle Horn is trying to find out. She's the cardiologist who started Books by Heart. She spoke about how patients who suffer from depression are twice as likely to die within a year of a heart attack. Her research seeks to fix this by improving book access with a new app. I talked to Dr. Horn after the event. Take a listen.
A great deal of how a patient is going to do has to do with how they navigate the challenges that come in with having a heart problem. Enthusiasm is in short supply in a hospital. It's a very overburdened system. It was overburdened before the pandemic.
She says hospital staff cannot make connections with patients as they used to.
One of my challenges as a doctor is that the amount of time that I have to spend with a patient who's in hospital is limited.
The project is a collaboration between the Nova Scotia Health Authority, the Atlantic Publishers Marketing Association, and King's. Students from King's are taking part in research and app testing. Joanna Sheridan has been coordinating efforts at King's. She says the aim of the program is to help patients get through crisis with connection.
And the hope is that we can use literature to try to help patients overcome these health obstacles, stay hopeful, connect with stories of overcoming.
Dr. Horn says it will be a while before the app rolls out to hospitals. She encourages students to get involved with Books by Heart where they can. Brad, back to you.
Thanks, David. Students looking to get involved can reach out to Joanna Sheridan at joanna.sheridan@ukings.ca. Weaving is a historical part of many cultures around the world.
Right now, there's no better place to see weaving in Halifax than a new exhibition.
It's all happening at the Canadian Museum of Immigration at Pier 21. They're displaying work from West Coast Canadian Muslims and Indigenous artists.
It's not just about beauty, but it's also about preserving lost histories. Mathieu Habert has more.
Chief Janice George and Elder Buddy Joseph are Squamish weavers. They have been revitalizing an art lost to time, the intricate and geometric art of Salish wool weaving.
My parents weren't allowed to learn how to do this. My grandparents weren't allowed to learn how to do this. It was lost in their generations.
In order to keep their ancestors' teachings alive, George and Joseph have been working to bring Salish weaving to youth and elders alike for 20 years. They teach workshops like the one held at Dalhousie this week, emphasizing the cultural importance of the art while sharing techniques required to create hats, scarves, and blankets. While the workshops may seem like simple arts and crafts, this is what restoration looks like.
We were in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and an elder was talking to us, and he said, our job here and your job is to make sure that the next generations don't even know there was an interruption in our community.
The latest of the couple's teachings takes place at Pier 21. An exhibition titled Weaving Cultural Identities is open to the public. It features woven blankets and prayer mats from Western Canadian Indigenous and Muslim immigrant communities.
And seeing them both here together is really special and really unique to have these works coming from the West Coast. So I hope people recognize that. I hope people respect and honor both cultures and see the beauty in both and how collaboration can create community and respect and learning and growth.
Since 2003, George and Joseph have taught thousands of people about Salish weaving. Their next project is reviving the Vancouver Art Gallery, working with architects around the world to give the new building a Coast Salish flair.
You know, they're asking questions in Europe about what's going on, you know, about reconciliation. They want to know more, like we were in Canadian consulate in Paris. And in Basel, Switzerland is where the architects are. Hopefully, maybe their worldview would change a little bit, you know, working with Indigenous people.
Mathieu Hebert, The Signal, Halifax.
Santa has a new helper this Christmas, and her name is Care.
Care Gilbert is a local crochet artist who is sharing the creative process with customers this holiday season. Ella McDonald has the story.
I have been extra good this year, so I have a long list of presents that I want.
It's that time of year again when kids are writing or drawing their letters to Santa. Care Gilbert is bringing imagination to life this holiday season, crocheting custom toys for children. Over the last 3 years, she has crocheted 500 toys. This Christmas, she has been one busy elf, having filled 20 orders with 8 on the go.
My first toy was a Baby Yoda in February 2020, and then the pandemic hit, and that's why I started posting on Facebook, because I wanted more stuff to make. And then in 2021, I got a piece of artwork from someone that asked me if I could make the toy. And I said, sure, I can try. Yeah, so I just started from the bottom and worked its way up and took pieces from different patterns and put it together.
From there, Care's business snowballed, Christmas becoming her busiest season.
And then this was a custom piece for a gentleman who is away for Christmas. And this is for the child to hug while his father's away.
Care has made more dolls of family members for young children, and her creations even caught the eye of Nova Scotia's top doctor.
And I was like, who locally could I make in Halifax? And Dr. Strang popped to mind.
I thought a couple of things. It was nice to be acknowledged in that positive way, but I just thought it was also fun. And, you know, it was really tough times for everybody during COVID. So having that element of fun and just help lighten things up for me, my families, help lighten things up a little bit for kids. So that's wonderful that she's doing that.
Care says selling on Facebook Marketplace is challenging, but she was able to stand out with her unique art to toys angle. With the holidays around the corner, she has already gotten plenty of special requests.
The person sent me this picture, and when she sent me the picture, I was a little overwhelmed because I was like, I don't know if I can do this one. This is the first very detailed picture. I just took a look at it and I went piece by piece. It's hilarious. I think it's so fun. And people send me pictures of their kids and smiling with their toys, and it just makes me smile.
There's no doubt Santa needs to give this toy maker a promotion. Ella MacDonald, The Signal, Halifax.
Coming up.
This curious cat is taking the King's campus by storm. See where the Signal spotted her this week.
That's later on the Video Signal.
Atlantic Canada's biggest video game tournament took place at Dalhousie University.
Frag for Cancer is back for the first time since 2019.
The tournament has raised $175,000 since it began.
All the money goes to cancer-related charities. Over 300 gamers met to compete.
It's the largest turnout they've ever had.
The Signal caught up with one gamer who says esports are sports just like any other.
Coming from a sports background, I know how much work goes into sports to get ready for that. Same amount of work goes in for tournaments and esports. Might not be all physical, but definitely a hard mental game.
Organizers want a bigger venue for next year.
Ever heard the expression, I'm running away to the circus? Well, you don't have to go too far to join.
That's right. There's the Halifax Circus right here in HRM. I visited them just the other day, and here's what I saw. Tumbling, theatrics, and acrobatics are essential to the circus arts, but you don't have to be a skilled athlete or performance artist. Since 2005, Halifax Circus has operated on Barrington Street. Their last show before the pandemic was Tarazmara, A Journey by Sea. Guinevere Last is directing a new run of the same show, which will be streamed in May 2023. This time, she is bringing together a new troupe. Some are new to circus, and some have been at it for years.
Old, young, any ability, any gender orientation, like everyone is welcome in this space. You don't have to be someone who was involved in the arts before to have circus be a thing that you can use to express yourself.
44-year-old Tamara Smith works in HR as her day job. She moonlights as a student at Halifax Circus.
I heard about Halifax Circus through a friend who was coming here, and that was partway through the pandemic.
Smith describes herself as a private person who started circus for personal growth, and now she's coming out of her shell. Smith has joined the performance troupe to rehearse for next year's show.
1, 2, down, up. Yeah.
That was much better.
Okay. So this is going to be my first time performing before an audience. The Halifax Circus exists as a welcoming and really inclusive place for people to try something new.
Students like Smith are learning the fundamentals of acrobatics, counterbalancing with another person's weight as an anchor.
8 hours a week of rehearsals of just sort of like getting to know each other, getting to know what we're going to do, and that will ramp up as we get closer to our filming date.
The show will rehearse for many hours, and they will stumble and fall and try again, until they are ready for their first show since the pandemic.
For the month of November, getting a portrait of your pet might save somebody else's.
One Halifax artist is doing her part for pets from around the world.
Chase Fitzgerald has the story.
Amber Solberg is a local artist with a passion for furry friends. She never had a pet of her own because of pet allergies, so she found joy in meeting other people's pets and eventually painting them too.
Yes, people are all about pet portraits because they're just really special.
That's why Solberg has been painting them since 2012. She says she can paint what a camera just can't capture.
Because you can have photos, tons and tons of photos, but it's hard to get the essence of an animal into one photo where they're not looking goofy or like having their back to the camera.
But after meeting her friend's adopted dog, Solberg's practice took on a deeper meaning. That's when she was introduced to the Halifax-based animal rescue, Fly With Me.
Their whole mission was to rescue dogs from overcrowded shelters or kill shelters.
You give me your paw? Good girl.
The dog her friend had adopted, Grape, had spent her life in a shelter in Israel. In 2019, Fly With Me rescued Grape and found her a forever home here in Halifax.
And then also just knowing her story, like Grape's story, where she was at a shelter for 4 years, that kind of just made me really sad. So I was like, she deserves to have a home, yeah.
De Palma and Grape bonded on day one, inspiring her artist friend to reach out to the animal rescue.
Hey, weird idea, but I heard about what you do, and it's really made an impression on me, especially my friend. And I'd be happy to do a collaboration if you're ever interested.
Since 2020, Solberg has held an annual pet portrait fundraiser for Fly With Me. Through pencil, ink, and watercolors, she captures each pet's personality on paper.
Yes, there was Grape, the one that started this all off. She's black and she's on a purple background because, you know, grapes.
This year, Solberg's fundraiser is running throughout November. So far, she has raised $182.
For the time that it takes me to do these, I charge $60 a pet portrait and $15 or 25% of that goes to Fly With Me.
As for the face of the fundraiser, Grape's definitely doing her part to spread the word.
It's funny because I've had people see the posters out in the wild and be like, isn't that Grape? Like they message me and I'm like, yeah, that is Grape. Yeah.
Maybe next time you see this face around, you'll take a pause. Chase Fitzgerald, The Signal, Halifax.
Good girl.
Speaking of four-legged friends,
Step aside, Blue Devils. The University of King's College might just have a new mascot.
Shardy the cat has recently taken the King's campus by storm.
This furry friend was spotted everywhere. We have video of her interrupting classes.
Shots of her scaling trees in the quad.
And most recently, guarding the steps of the A&A. So next time you hear jingle bells on campus, look for a cat, not a reindeer.
The Signal reached out to Shardy, but she declined any comments at this time.
Oh, wait, here's Shardy.
Here she is. Oh my God, Shardy, hello. Shardy, anything to say, Okay, thank you. Thank you for watching the video Signal.
See you next week.